for all the times and all the reports that we have covered throughout the years, reporting the truth of what's going on behind the scenes when it comes to these pedophile rings, many people just did not want to accept the fact that any Roman Catholic or Catholic priest could do such a thing. And we showed time and time again that all the way up to the highest ranks inside the Vatican, you've seen the atrocities and the secrets that they try to keep. Well, now the cat's out of the bag in Pennsylvania, where they are saying hundreds of children have been sexually assaulted by about 50 Roman Catholic priests for over 4 decades, while the bishops covered up their actions. Now, this is according to a state grand jury report that was released on Tuesday. The report found that the former Altoona Johnstown Diocese Bishop James Hogan, who died in 2005, and his successor, Joseph Adamek, who retired in 2011, had both worked to cover up the pedophile priest tracks, and that some local law enforcement agencies also avoided investigating the abuse allegations. Now, this is sickening. Heinous crimes of these children, your children from the streets. And these men that are trying to hold this holy stature are doing devilish deeds where they should be in prison and everything else, and it's being covered up. Now, in this report, they go on to talk about hefty lawsuits, undermining the church's moral authority, what this does to the church, that no criminal charges will be filed because the alleged incidents are too old to be prosecuted. So there's already all this different defense going up, but it does not matter. Nothing's too old. When you have individuals that have committed crimes and have abused people, changed people's lives forever, they have got to be held accountable. What, are you going to dress up in a robe and grab a cross and say you're a religious man and think you're going to get away with murder and rape and all this stuff? Well, you see, all this time we've been telling people what's been going on up through the highest ranks. And now here in this one case, it proves true that it wasn't just a couple. It wasn't 1, 2, even a dozen. It was 50 over decades that were involved. And these are the ones only being brought into the light here right now at this point in time. So I wanted to let it be known, this is where it sits. These individuals being called out on this. As I get more information on where it's going to go from here, I'll keep you guys posted. But you have to stay on top of this, because if they want to come out and make statements like that they're too old of an issue or allegations to prosecute, that's ridiculous. You guys should know that as well as me. I mean, you do something like this, you get held accountable. And they want to talk about police forces that didn't want to investigate. This rabbit hole goes even deeper. Now, see, people need to be asking the questions immediately. What force? Who is in charge? What officers were involved? Once you start looking down those paths, you're going to start seeing a whole lot more. So the game gets a little dangerous. Unless the heat backs off of them. But the only way that's going to happen is if you turn a cheek and ignore it. So you folks better pay attention to what's going on out there. This is what's happening to children across the globe, while these men prance around like they're something holy, and they're everything but. This is Illuminati.